Alright folks, this is going to be my final farewell. Well, until I come back anyway. I'm not going anywhere. I just need to spend time getting on top of things and getting my heating and everything else sorted out. Now for those of you who've expressed concern, let me assure you I'm fine. Let me assure you that I'm not upset or worried about the situation. It's winter. I know winter in Latvia is bad. They can get down to -9 centigrade, which is like something like -2000 Fahrenheit. I don't know the conversion. Google it, you'll find out. At that stage, it's very dry cold, so it's not so bad. Today, it's -9 at the moment, and -18 with wind chill. Again, that's centigrade. I have no idea what it is in Fahrenheit. The dogs are suffering. Ellie's amongst the concrete blocks, looking for a bone that she's probably buried at some stage. I'm collecting firewood at the moment, and just to show you, I've got these logs. I've got logs like this. Things like that. So I've got plenty of firewood I can be working on. And it's old and it's dry. It's at least 15 years old, and it's dry. Probably killing some bugs as I'm burning it, but it burns bright. This particular one I think is birch. It was birch once upon a time. Next, let's think about me. At the moment, if we look, I'm wearing combats, boots. I've got 3 pairs of socks on. Right, I've got a thin pair of socks, I've got a pair of sports socks, and then I've got some thick working socks on. Then I've got my Dutch military boots, which I love, but sadly are falling apart. They're coming to the end of their lives. Then we look down, I'm wearing a pair of long johns, which cost me €3, bought brand new. They're a cheap fleecy one. I think I've had them for about a year or so, and with washing and wearing them, they're totally misshapen. But what I've done is I've just sewed the top gusset area up, so they're not falling down all the time. On top of that, I've got a pair of jeans. Now, jeans aren't exactly the best thing to wear in the cold. You get wet or anything like that, they're not windproof. They're workwear, they're just heavy duty workwear, so they're on because I just can't be asked to take them off. On top of that, I've got a pair of corduroys. And that's a good thing about losing weight, especially the amount of weight I lost. I could wear the clothes that I used to wear and were snug. They're loose as buggery now. So I'm wearing them as layers. And then finally, on top of the corduroys, I've got the combats, which are reasonably windproof. For my top end, I've got two cotton vests, well, cotton vest and a cotton t-shirt, followed by a woolen jumper, which is a bit snug. I bought it for €2 at the second-hand shop. It's a bit snug, but it's got the length. When I washed it, I pulled it. It's got the length, although on the arm side they've ridden up. On top of that, I've got another woolen jumper, so I've got 2 layers of wool on top of 2 layers of cotton. On top of that, I've got a woolen waistcoat. I don't know if you ever see them. They just look like woolly waistcoats. You probably see them at the markets or whatever, and that's fairly good. It's nothing special, but it's been with me for a few years. It's one of the only gifts I've ever had from Yanis that I've said, good one mate, although I would have preferred a different colour than shitty brown. On top of that, I've got this green military fleecy thing. Right, this is a zip-up fleece. It's French service, fantastic, really is fantastic. I can wear it normally in iffy weather. Can't wear it in the wet, obviously, because it's a fleece, but it's nice and warm, and I can zip it all the way up. When I'm on the bus in the mornings, or I'm stood outside in the cold, I zip it all the way up, and it covers me up to my eyes. Fantastic. And then finally, on top of that, I've got my military jacket. And this is similar to this is exactly the same as the winter jackets we were trying out, the winter gear we tried out when I was on border patrols. We were given this gear as an experiment to see what it was like, and then we had to do reports on it. This thing, thin as it is totally windproof and waterproof. It's fantastic. It was designed to have a layer of quilted clothing underneath. The quilted clothing was crap, but this itself is fantastic. So I'm nice and weatherproof. I've got the gloves. They're Gore-Tex gloves. Yeah, they were good once. They were good once. They're falling apart now, but they still keep my hands warm. And normally underneath that, I've got a pair of woolen gloves on. Today, I haven't got a pair of woolen gloves on because I've been inside and making coffee. Because I went down to the shops and got myself 30 litres of water and carried it back in my backpack. That's another story. So, on top of this, I've got my Cossack hat. Best €4 I ever paid. I bought that in the military surplus place, and as you can see, I've got my beanie, which is pulled down and stretched, and is part of my nightwear. Right, that keeps my ears warm when the wind's blowing past the beanie. And below that, I've got no hair, so I haven't got a final layer there. But never mind, I'm okay. So at night, when I climb into bed and I'm under a quilt, 3 blankets and 2 dogs, I've got my pyjamas. Quilted overalls. I don't change into them, I pull them on over the clothes. No, I don't get undressed. I won't get undressed until I can find somewhere nice and warm to have a hot bath and a shower, and I can change into clothes which are clean and dry. That ain't going to happen for a while. I'm going to stink. I probably stink already. I don't probably stink already. I do stink already. Do I care? No. Right, so I'm fine. I've got a windproof Vivado, and that's basically simple enough. I've got the stuff which I need to do. When I first bought all the stuff I needed to build the Vivado, after it was generously donated to me, I got extra. I got extra because I knew what it's like. That suddenly, oh shit, I should have done this, whatever. I have weatherproofing membrane, so I'm going to put that on the side, and that's going to save half of the problem when it comes to actually doing the warming the place up. Okay, I'm thinking I might drop the bed down to the bottom section and make it a small cabin within the cabin. We'll see what the time's like. The goats, well, they got 20 litres of water. They drank about a litre between them, and then they got all excited and started fighting over it, and then kicked it all over. So 20 litres of water has been basically wasted. Well, 19 litres of water have been wasted. I'm going to find a bucket, and I've got the rope, and I'm going to pull water from the river while the river's still flowing in the centre. I'll stand in the middle of the bridge and do that. Probably 20 litres at a time, so I only need to pull up a couple of buckets, and then I've given plenty of water to drink. And they've drunk the river water before, so no worries there. The issue I've got is the stove, and keeping the stove going all night. Last night I was up until gone 4 o'clock before I finally fell asleep, and I fell asleep, I'd say through exhaustion. That sounds bad. I fell asleep because I was knackered. And best thing to do when you're knackered, get to sleep. As far as eating, I've got plenty of food in. I've got simple stuff in. I'm making my breads. I'm making my fried breads and things like that. You know, with the flour and the baking soda, and I use a lot of sugar. When it gets cold, if you haven't got the constant heating, all this, you need to take in a lot of calories. Yeah, when you're talking, you're in Alaska and it's minus whatever it is out there. They're talking 5,000 calories a day. I ain't taking 5,000 calories a day. I'm not in Alaska. If things get really bad for me, I can pop down to the shop and I can get myself a bloody Mars bar or something like that. That'll boost me up. But what I'm doing is when I'm drinking my coffee or when I'm cooking food, there's always a spoonful of sugar going in. That's boosting the calorific intake in. The dogs, they'll be all right. We've got the emergency rations, and when I'm cooking, I'm cooking enough for 3 of us. So we share what we've got. They're quite happy eating what I eat, and being the fact that they're not pedigree dogs and arty-farty type animals, their stomachs are pretty robust, and they can handle the change of food from a day-to-day basis. Not that I change my food from a day-to-day basis. If I make vegetable soup on the first day and I've got vegetable soup left over, I'll probably have vegetable soup for the last of the week. And it's a bit like the turkey at Christmas, you know. My last vegetable soup will have some curry powder or something. So I've got curried vegetable soup as a final bit. So yeah.